Hello and welcome to another Twin Peaks live chat. And this is about last night's episode, which was part 7 of The Return. If you are in the room, let me know by telling me that you are here. I need to turn down my volume. Let me know by telling me you are here so that we can get the chat going. But of course, I don't have any complaints with this episode. I have enjoyed all of the return episodes. One thing that I found interesting was that we saw Doc Hayward, and he died in February. The actor who plays Doc Hayward died in February of this year, so he was able to film, I guess, probably just that scene. And I think that's really special that they were able to include him. It looks like maybe he was at a different location. I mean, maybe they came to him so he didn't have to leave his home or anything. But if you didn't know, he is Mark Frost's father, the guy who played Doc Hayward. So I thought that was really cool that he was able to be in this return. Like, I thought that was really special. So hi, Katie, Leslie, Sarah, Ralph, Julian, Bree, and Leslie again. And just a heads up, we're talking about Twin Peaks for this live chat, so you just missed Pretty Little Liars live chat. If you are trying to come to that, I'm so sorry, but that is up on my channel if you want to check that out. And we'll have another Pretty Little Liars chat on Wednesday, but we're going to stick to Twin Peaks in this one. Again, I just uploaded that to my channel if you want to go over there and watch it if you happen to miss it. I'm sorry if you did. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate it. And Ralph was right. It was Major Briggs's body, but there's a lot of complications with that because he was supposed to be in his 70s and this body was in its 40s, and I don't know where the head is. So I don't know what's up with that. What do you guys think is going on there? Because he definitely does not have the correct aged body. It's almost like, I guess his body probably stopped aging, right? Because was he around 40 something back when the original Twin Peaks aired? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So my favorite scene in this week's episode was when the guy was going to shoot, I don't even know what the guy's name is in the show, but he was going to shoot Dougie / Cooper, and Cooper just became like a ninja and was like wrestling him to the ground and got the gun out of his hand. And it was just crazy because usually Dougie is in a coma, like comatose state, and can't get anything done and just is so like out there and can't, even answer simple questions. So I thought that was super cool. I guess he kind of had a flashback to who he really is. We're kind of seeing him slowly get some things back, like get his memory back a little bit. So what did you guys think about it? What do you want to talk about in this chat? I will continue my thoughts with talking about Diane, since we really didn't know anything about her before now. She's crazy. She was just like F you to everybody. I just thought she was kind of funny. Honestly, it made me laugh, especially when she said F you to like that new girl or whatever that's in the show. She was like, hi, what's your name? And then she was like, F you, whatever. Ralph says that Briggs time travels. He showed us this with his World War II get up in season 2. Okay, so that makes sense, but why has his body not aged? Because what's up with that? I don't know. Ike the Spike is the assassin. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so funny. All right, so when Diane finally had the chance to meet with Bad Coop / Bob, like she knew right away this was not the Cooper that she knew. So we all know that, but we figured that she would recognize that as well. Ralph says because he was time traveling and does not follow the same aging rule as us. Okay, so that's really interesting. So what do you think? Why is he dead? Who decapitated him? Does anyone have any thoughts about that? I loved it how we kind of ended up at the Double R Diner. I thought that was cool to be back there. And I'm trying to think what else I want to talk to you guys. Oh, yes. So when Ike the Spike was like detained by Cooper, and the little, was it like the tree person or the one arm? I don't know. The one armed man that turned into the tree, right, was talking to him. I don't know. That makes me laugh. It might not be funny to you guys, but I thought that was so funny. Ralph says he might have time traveled from 1989 to 2014 and he might have died here. But it seems like something super sinister happened to him, obviously, since he's lost his head. What do you think about that? So Bree's asking, what do I think happened between her and Cooper? So it seemed like they hooked up or something. That's how I was taking it. But I think that's how Bob was taking it. So he was like, oh, I'll never forget that night. But whatever happened, I don't know. Maybe not, because like he obviously didn't answer it in the correct way and he couldn't, you know, recall any details. And I just like, it's so cool to me. I think that Kyle is doing such a great job, because when he is like Bob Cooper, his voice is so different and he just looks different. He looks a lot heavier. I guess it's makeup or whatever, but he looks and acts. I mean, I would never guess, honestly. I mean, you can tell it's Kyle MacLachlan, but at the same time, he's so different from Cooper. And I think he's doing such a great job. And we never got to see him do anything besides that really super sweet, happy, fun guy, Cooper, in the first 2 seasons. Ralph thinks that Bob more than likely killed Major Briggs. Okay. Because that was a very brutal death. We still have not seen Audrey. I don't know what's up with that. That's okay, Liza, no problem. We'll have another chat 5 o'clock Wednesday. So if you missed this one today, just come to that. And if you missed this one today, it's up on my channel. You can go watch and comment over there. But no worries. But anyway, we still haven't seen Audrey, but we had a lot of Ashley Judd in this episode. I'm not really sure like what purpose she is serving. Again, it was just bits and pieces of different people. Like we had Audrey's dad, and we haven't seen Bobby again. We haven't seen James again. We had a little bit of Shelley. So, you know, it's all over the place. It's not a steady group of actors in every episode. It's way more, I mean, to me, it's a lot different than the first 2 seasons, because I feel like we knew who we would probably see in most every episode, but where this is taking place in lots of different locations, and there's a lot of different storylines going on, we don't really ever know who we're going to see. We don't get a previously on, we don't get a promo for next week. And again, I'm fine with that, but I'm just still like, every week I'm wondering like, where is Audrey? And I have no idea. But what were your favorite moments of the episode? What did you think about Diane? Do you guys have any ideas about what kind of relationship she had with Cooper besides a working relationship? Something definitely happened between the two of them, you know, something. Was that Bobby eating in the diner at the end during the credits? It might have been. Amber, we're on season 3 now. Ralph says Bob Cooper might have raped Diane or even scalped her. This might be why she wears the wig. And Bob is also known to pull hair. Okay, so when they met up, I guess, okay, so when their last meeting, I don't think they set a specific time, but their last meeting definitely could have been when he was Bob, you know, when he was Bad Cooper. And I couldn't tell like during that conversation if that was where they were going with that. So that, I never thought about that. But yeah, her wig is obviously like super fake, which I don't know if it's a fashion statement or if it's because something terrible happened to her, like done by Bob. But she definitely seemed scared of him. She was like really quick to cut off the conversation and to put the partition down and everything. So okay. Okay, so we're talking about Ashley Judd now. Sorry, I don't know why I'm having so much interruptions for this. I just did a live chat and had no interruptions, so I don't know. I didn't know if I was supposed to recognize the guy who is her husband. He looks like he has a lot of medical issues, and Ralph thinks that she's up to no good, and I don't remember what her name is in the show. And Ralph is saying her home life is kind of like Shelley and Leo, but in reverse. But yeah, I can definitely sense that something's not quite right with her. And I guess her husband is nobody that we would have recognized or knew in the first 2 seasons. But I love the fact that I don't know what's going on with her and her storyline and so many other people's storylines. Like, we literally only saw James for what do we seem like 1 episode? Okay, Bree's bringing up a good point about the hotel key. You remember that Jade put back in the mailbox, which I didn't even know you can do that. Can you do that? You could just put something with an address in the mailbox without being in an envelope and a stamp? I don't think so. I feel like that is just like kind of like something that wouldn't happen, but somehow it got to them. And Mr. Horn was like freaking out Ben. He was like, oh, wow, we haven't used these keys in 20 years or whatever. And then he figured out this was Cooper's room key. And Bree says everyone thinks Dougie is in 2003, but they received the hotel. I don't think that he's in 2003 because there's some things that are, I can't remember what. There's some things that don't match up with that. Well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I feel like there was one thing that I figured out that I was like, that can't be 2003. Can you guys remember? And if I'm wrong, I don't know. But that's such a good point, though. If he is in 2003 and Jade's in 2003, then Jade can't mail something from 2003 and it arrive like a couple days later in 2017 or 2016 or whatever year it is in the show. So that's a good point. Ralph says Ashley was trying to make Ben give in to temptation. Amber is saying Beverly Page, is that her name on the show? Beverly, thank you. Ashley was trying to make Ben give into temptation, but the mentioning of Laura killed Ben's mood, right? And it was kind of funny. It's not funny, but it was kind of funny when she was like, I don't know who Laura Palmer is. And he was like, that's a really long story. Because it's like, yeah, it's the whole basis for the show. And it would even take me a long time to explain that to somebody who was here that was new. Rob says, your folks had a grocery card thing that could be dropped in the mail like that. Okay. Who knew? I had no idea. I mean, I have never seen a, yeah, again, one more time, I'm gonna say this one more time. If you're here for Pretty Little Liars, you just missed that chat. It's up on my channel. You can go watch that, and we have another one at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. But I won't be talking about the show. We just got done talking about it, so I'm really sorry, but this is just about Twin Peaks. So just a heads up. So if you're here for that, you just missed it, but it's up on my channel. That's okay. It's no worries, but you know, we're just not going to be, we just talked about it for 30 minutes. So that's interesting, Rob. I had no idea, but I was going to say, I've never seen a hotel, if I have, I don't remember it, that used a key, like an actual key, you know, but that is really cool because they were able to get their key. I mean, like even in a real life situation, they were able to get their key back. So that's cool. I knew that was going to come back into play, and it came back into play sooner than you would think because you just never know the time frame of this show. Like, didn't we like sit and watch some guy like cleaning the floor for quite some time last night? I was just like mesmerized. He was just cleaning the floor. I feel like that went on for like a really long time, but it probably wasn't that long. But you know, I feel like that was also like the scene where what's his name? The therapist dude was like painting the shovels for like, it felt like 10 minutes, but it wasn't, like a couple episodes ago. But I don't know. I just feel like the show and the characters are so special that I'm willing to put up with watching someone clean the floor or watching someone paint shovels. I don't know why that is, but I kind of feel like if you guys are here, you feel the same way. Like I definitely think if another show that I watch tried to do that kind of scene, I would just be like, what is this? And I would be like ranting to you guys, but it doesn't bother me. Like it just really doesn't. It's just kind of, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, that's just how this show is. And okay. Yeah, Brie is like, it's just classic Twin Peaks. It really is. And like, I swear to you, don't you think like any other show, like if How to Get Away with Murder or something, like had someone like filing papers for like 5 minutes, would you not be like, so I would be like, no, what is this? Ralph says the 2003 thing is the license plate, but in Nevada, the plates have the expiration month is big letters, hence the 3. Okay, so, okay. I kind of get what you're saying there. Kind of, but kind of not. Is that answering someone else, or is that just, what are we talking about? Like whose car? I'm getting really confused. Oh, okay. Why this is in 2003. Why people thought this, the Dougie part, the Vegas part is 2003. That's what we're talking about. I was like, oh my God, well, whose car are we talking about here? But you know what's funny is like how much longer is he going to be in Dougie's body? Because I've had a lot of people comment on my videos that it's only, they're like, I think it'll just happen like 1 or 2 more episodes, and that was like 2 episodes ago. And you know I love Dougie. I didn't think it was as funny as wow, so his plate expires in 2014, so that's interesting. Huh. Well, 2014, which is probably when they filmed this or something like that. So then that's fine. Then there's no way that this is in 2003. Okay. I think that completely clears it up. Okay. For a second, I was thinking 2004, and I was like, oh my God. Amber said you did a film a few years back and there was a long scene similar to that where some people were like, why is this happening for so long? Yeah, I really feel like most movies or TV shows cannot get away with that. Like, especially if it has nothing to do with anything, really. Like someone cleaning the floor, someone paint, we don't need to see that, you know? Ralph says the sweeping scene was Lynch showing us his power. Right. So it's like, he's like, I'm going to make you watch someone cleaning the floor. I'm going to make you watch this person painting shovels. Although it was kind of cool to watch the gold paint on the shovels. I don't know. I feel like I've taken the Twin Peaks drug and I'm just like in the cult, you know? Like, how can I sit there and watch that? I have like had friends trying to watch it with me, like the new, like they weren't really trying to watch it, but they were here, you know? And they're like, what is this? Like, because they've never seen any of it. And they're like, how are you watching this? And I can't explain it. I don't know. But I always say, like, for me, when I first started watching it, I was like, I don't know. When I first started watching, like, the very first season, I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do this. But now I'm, like, drinking the Kool-Aid, you know? Rob says you like seeing more and more glimpses of real Cooper and Dougie. Yeah, it's coming out more. So I feel like in this season, he will get away from Dougie. I definitely feel that way. I think his wife is like, she's crazy. Like she took on those guys last week where she had to pay them the money, like those bad guys. And then she was trying to fight with the Ike guy. She's like savage, like she doesn't care. Because even the guys last week were like so impressed by her. They're like, wow. So she cracks me up. I just wonder like if we will ever know like what happens to his son and her. Like, are they even real people? Like if he becomes Cooper, does that whole family just like disappear, dissolve because they're fake, like they're manufactured? Because remember they said that he, like Dougie, was a manufactured person, so they're probably manufactured too. Like I don't know if we'll ever even see them again or how that will play out. I don't know. Does anyone have any ideas of what they're going to do with Audrey? I just like, I'm so curious because I really enjoyed Audrey in the first 2 seasons, and I really liked her character, and I know she's coming back, and I keep looking at her stuff on Instagram, like Cheryl and Finn, and she keeps, you know, kind of hinting at it, not all the time, but sometimes. So I know, like, we know she's coming back, but I just don't know when. It is kind of driving me mad, you know? Ralph said season 1 and 2 took place in late February, early March of '89, and season 3 is 25 years later in 2014, because we remember they talked about 25 years later. Laura did, like in the, I guess, finale. Rob says you wonder if the younger body of Major Briggs was a copy made by the White Lodge, like the Black Lodge made Bad Cooper. And that's interesting. That's interesting. I know Ralph thinks it's because he time travels, so his body is like mixed up, like it's not aging correctly. I don't know. It get to me, it's hard when we start theorizing and figuring out what's going on. And I never read like message boards or look at other people's videos, so I don't ever get like any help on it. Sometimes I just want to watch the show and just enjoy it. I don't know. Mateo says, is this season 3 revival only 1 season, or they will renew it? So it's supposed to be 18 episodes, and you guys, some of you guys will be able to answer this. Is it supposed to be 18 episodes like straight right now? Are they splitting it up, or are they splitting it into seasons, or what? Ralph says Jani E is in charge and took control of those cops, no problem whatsoever. That's Dougie's wife. Like she cracks me up. She's a teeny tiny person, but she's like hardcore. Like she'll go after any guy. Like she doesn't care. I think that's really funny. But yeah, I'm not really sure about how they're doing these episodes. And I think the answer to that is like, I think David said if it's popular, like it'll continue past that. And I mean, I can't see how it's not. I don't know how it's doing in the ratings, but I have a feeling it's doing really well because people waited so long for it to come back. I really, really like it. And I didn't even watch it when it first came on. So I don't know. I have had one person who really hates it, who watched it, I think, when it first came on. I was trying to think. So, you know, I always like wonder what people think and if people like, this is different because it hasn't been on in years and now it's back. But there was someone in the live chat last week that really hated everything about this new return, these new episodes. Hi, Annie. Thank you for being here. But anyway, I personally really like it, even though it's strange. Bree thinks Audrey's behind the box. Were you the one who said that last week? If not, someone else did. Which we hope that and I think she would be doing good things. You know, I don't think she's a bad character now. Ralph says you can also tell Jani was turned on by Dougie when he took down Ike the Spike. Oh my God, right? Well, probably because he's been like I said, like comatose, couldn't even like get out of the car, couldn't close his own door. And now he's like, what? I mean, it shocked everyone. It cracked me up when they had the interviews with those people like on the news or whatever. And they were like, oh my God. Like, they're just like, yeah, I mean, he wasn't even acting like a victim. Okay. So we had these 18 episodes, which now this is 7. So we're going to have those 18 episodes. Thank you, all the way through. And I think David said like, it's up in the air as to where, you know, will they do more? I mean, I personally think so. I think this is going to be like a huge moneymaker for him and for Showtime. And unless like the 18th episode is like a massive like closing episode, like that makes everything, you know, figures everything out. I don't think so, because, you know, it's moving really slow, right? I feel like it's moving so slow that we can have beyond the 18 episodes. That's what I think. Yeah, so 18 episodes. Bree says hopefully so Bree thinks that Audrey was trying to catch Cooper when he returned. But I guess, you know, instead we had like this monster person come out and do very bad things. We've never gone back to the black box, which is interesting. Yes. Okay. This is a really funny like for me, I don't know why these types of live chats attracts like random trolls. It's so weird. Maybe because there's less people in here. Maybe there's trolls in all the chats and I just don't see them. I don't know. It's just funny. I feel like some of the people in here are trolling. The ones who just keep saying the same thing over and over and over. Anyway, Amber says it's supposed to, okay. So there's supposed to be a 2-part finale, which is helpful. I didn't actually know that. Some of you probably did, in September. So, cool. I mean, that takes up our whole summer. So we have something to watch all summer long. Something very good to watch all summer long. So that makes me really happy. Ralph says the news covering Dougie will alert Gordon to good Coop's presence. That's exciting, I think, because I know as much as like Dougie makes me laugh and everything, I'm excited to get Cooper back. Like, it's been so long, right? Bree says Cooper saved Audrey from One-Eyed Jack, so you think she was trying to save him? Yes, I definitely think so. I just really can't wait to see her. And I wonder like how much longer we're gonna have to wait to have her back. I don't know. Amber says you wish they had more shows during the summer. Well, Orphan Black is back if you guys watch that, but it's probably not a time to try to watch it if you've never seen it before, because this is the very last season, but it just started, so we have that as well for those of you who watch that. Ralph says you just got your physical copy of The Secret History of Twin Peaks, and that's a nice book, and that's like the one piece of the puzzle that I haven't read, or, you know, I've seen everything else I think that I can see, but I haven't read that book. I guess maybe that is helpful when watching this new season. I feel like maybe it is, because I know we've had other people in the chat who would like reference that when we're talking about certain parts of certain episodes. I'm not sure how to say your name. Is it Arujo? How about, yes, I did watch Big Little Lies, and I did videos on the entire first season. So you might want to check those out if you have watched it. And I will definitely be covering Big Little Lies season 2. So stick around for that. No, I haven't watched The Missing Pieces. Now that I said all that, no. That is the deleted scenes, right, from the movie. And I think Ralph told me that is on YouTube. So I probably should do that. Ralph says, don't forget about the black dark character. Well, yes, okay. I should have mentioned that. That person, like, I wish someone would like try to talk to that person. was at the autopsy. That was also the person from the jail cell. And like, I kept waiting last night for someone to be like, because I know that woman recognized him or her, and I kept waiting for that person to be like, for her to be like, excuse me, sir, or whatever, like, what are you doing here? Like, obviously this is a sinister character. I really don't know if it's a guy or a girl, right? Do you guys know? So, yeah, I should have mentioned that. And I don't think, oh, I'm glad I got it right. Awesome. But I don't know who that person is, but I don't think they're a good person at all. But I think, I don't know, did I leave anything out? Is there anything you wanted to talk about in this episode that we haven't, or anything that you hope to see in future episodes with Twin Peaks? Cuve, hopefully I'm saying your name right. The shadow character reminds you of the hobo from Mulholland Drive. I have not seen Mulholland Drive, but maybe that will make sense to some of you guys. But that person is definitely a shady person up to no good. But hi, Nick. Thank you for being here. Nick has a Twin Peaks avatar. Very nice. I like that. I think that's what that is. It definitely looks like Cooper. But anyway, I think we'll probably just wrap it up. And I'm sorry if you just got here to the chat, but I feel like we've talked about everything. No, I haven't seen Mulholland Drive. I feel like we've talked about everything that key things that happen in this episode. The good news is this goes live on my channel in like 5 minutes for people who miss this. Okay, Mateo's asking, what do I think is on the last page of Laura's diary? I don't know. So we did something I should have said also, is that it looks like Leland is the person who left those pages in the door of the bathroom stall. So obviously he didn't want anyone to find those. Maybe he should have like flushed them down the toilet or something, but I'm glad that he didn't, because now 25 years later they can be found. So that's interesting. Ralph says the secret history of Twin Peaks is basically all of Coop's notes, tapes, and Twin Peaks history. These are all the files of female FBI agent, which Gordon is reading, studying. That's really interesting. Yeah, I probably would really like looking at that, definitely. But I hope you guys are having a great week. I appreciate everyone who came here and for the really great discussion as always. And I'm excited for next week's episode. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you guys very soon with a new Twin Peaks video. So have a great week. Bye, guys.